Nick speaking. Right, well, in this video, just making a piece of terrain here. So, I went to my buddy's house the other day, and he had these tubes, which he found somewhere, and he stuck them together. They're actually quite solid tubes, they're pretty thick. So, he doesn't really have much time to do bits and pieces like this, so I said, well, I'll do it. So, I'm just going to paint it up, really. I mean, you know, we could do more with it than we've got here, but to be fair, I mean, you know, just a stack of tubes, I think it's going to make quite a nice piece of maybe impassable terrain, you know, line of sight blocking terrain. So first up, I thought I'd give it a coat of rough coat, which I've got some here left over from my buildings. I'm actually going to try and paint this the same as my buildings, so it might give you an idea of how I did those. So yeah, first of all, I'm going to spray it with this. Right, there you go, so that's sprayed with that rough coat. It's all dried up, so now I'm just going to give it a basic spray over of Chaos Black. So that's the next stage. Right, so that's sprayed up black, and for the next stage, I've in my cupboard I have some of these very old cheap colours that again I used on my buildings, and what I'm going to do is I'm just randomly spray some different colours onto this piping thing. So I have just a standard grey, can't really see no lid, that's like a caramel colour, and then a dark brown, and there's like a reddy brown there. So I'm just going to randomly spray them. I'll do that out in the garden, and I'll film myself doing it actually. Okay, so I'm in the garden. Just put my face mask on because I'm going to be spraying, so I won't talk in this section. Okay, well, okay, there you go. So you can see sort of just getting a nice build up of colours. So I'm just going to continue doing that, and I'll come back in the other room when I've finished. Right, so that's done, all over. Looking pretty good at the moment, I think. So the next stage is I'm going to basically put a wash over it. Now I'm not actually going to use a proper wash. What I'm going to use is just some paint that I found. Now I have this paint, Vermin Brown, which I've only used once, so I mean I bought it just to paint a tiny bit of hair, and that's it. So I'm going to turn this into a wash. So I'm going to empty some of this out into this little tub, probably 50-50 with this and then water, and then I'm going to start washing this. I'll come back when I'm ready to wash it. I'm just going to make the wash up now. Okay. Right, so there you go. So I've made my wash up. Actually, I put a lot more water in than I thought, because 50-50 was just too thick. So this is probably about 25% paint and 75% water. And obviously, basically, the idea is, of course, we've got all these different shades. So when we put the wash on and it goes through, you'll get different highlights as such through the work. So what I'm going to do now is just basically put on some wash. Now you don't want to wash everything, you do want to leave some patches, so it's like a quite a random type pattern, like so. Okay, so I'll let that dry and do the other side. So make sure it's not too wet, you don't want it to be dripping, you don't want no runs as such. No, that's my daughter agreeing with me. Do you agree then with that? Yeah, don't want no runs, do we? No. she's not talking now, she's just moving her head. Right, okay, so I'm going to continue with this, and I'll come back when it's dry. Okay, so that's on there, and it's all dried, and Just a quick note on this wash. I mean, this wash is the piece basically that changes the colour of the end product. So if you have a look at my buildings, if you've seen my building videos, you'll notice I've got some which are quite like rusty finish, some are sort of like mossy finish, and the difference was done with a different wash. So you could use a green wash on here, or whatever. So the next stage now is to add a bit of metal sort of finish to this. So I'm going to basically dry brush it. And first of all, I'm going to dry brush it with chainmail. So I'm just going to try and do that on the camera. I don't know how this is going to work, but I'm just going to basically go over it with the chainmail and just build up sort of like a metally colour. So I'm going to have to put the camera down to do this properly, so I'm going to do that, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so that's that done, and now we're going to just go over it with bolt gun metal. Second dry brush. Okay, so there you go, finished. Added a couple of pieces of grass just to the bottom tubes here. My buddy's got a grass board, so I thought that would be pretty cool, just to make it look like the grass is sort of starting to make its way into the pipes. So there you go, hopefully he'll be happy with that, and I'm sure you'll see that on my next battle report, and hopefully you've enjoyed watching me make it. It's been quite good fun. Okay, there you go, and thanks for watching.